Hello everyone, this is Curtis with Weed Whacker Lawn Care. Hey, in this video, I'm gonna explain to you how to grow a solo lawn care job. That's right, because that's what it is. It is a job doing lawn care. You know, sometimes you may come between, you've worked for someone on their job and things may have gotten slow and they don't have any more work for you as per se, or that you're in a situation where they just say, well, hey, we got to let some people go because we can't afford them anymore. We just don't have enough work to go around to keep them employed. So then they'll let you go. And now you're out looking for work. And you're like, well, where do I go? What can I do? And sometimes you may have a skill set is just only in one area, and no one may be using that skill set anymore. So then you have to go and find something else that's going to be more challenging for you. And a lot of times when things are slow, a lot of people like to get into doing lawn care. They feel like it's easy to get into. So they start out by going solo. You're the owner, operator, manager, everything. You do it all. And fulfilling that task is a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. You have created yourself a job. I mean, a big job. And to grow that job requires a lot of tasks that you have to fulfill, for as marketing your skills and your service. Start out, you just say you want to get into this, and you say, well, I'm going to need me a lawnmower, I'm going to need me a trimmer and a blower and all of that. You don't have to invest a lot of money in it right off. You can start out small, basically a little consumer grade. If you already have a little mower or a little handheld blower that you can walk with, or if you have just some tools around the house that you can basically use and get started. And what it is, once you get started, then you want to grow. You may start out with one customer, then you get two customers, then you get three customers, then you get four customers. Now what's happening is that the word is getting around that you're into business to fulfill a certain task for us doing lawn care, mowing, edging, and blowing. And along the way, you'll want to market your business. I mean, you'll get you some postcards, some flyers, or nowadays what they use is like Facebook marketing, YouTube marketing, Instagram marketing, a lot of digital network over the internet, and to grow your business. And what happens is, well, you're growing your job task, what you're doing, because you're going to be doing all the work. And that's a solo owner operator. I'm here to tell you, because I've done it. I mean, I worked on many years of creating a job for myself. And it was a job because it was a lot of work. Owner operator, you do all the work. You don't get a break. I mean, everybody's going to call you. They're going to walk up on you. They're going to ask you, can you do this? Can you do that? And some of it, maybe you can. And, some of it, you may not be able to do. It may be out of your scope of work. You're like, no, I can't do that. I mean, you don't want to take on every job because every job is not a profitable job. What's going to be profitable for your business is knowing the market rate for providing that service. That's mowing, edging, and trimming up the lawn. And what I want to say is you want to grow in that area. You don't want to grow, oh, I do pressure washing, I do, pressure washing houses, driveway, I'll paint the house. Yeah, no, you don't want to fulfill yourself with all these different tasks. I mean, sometimes it may get slow and you don't have a lot going on, and you may want to take on some tasks like that from time to time. But if you take on work like that during the busy lawn care season, you won't make any money because you can't get your time to do all your lawn care jobs. And your lawn care is where your money is going to come in. And you're going to be very profitable because all you're doing is you got a routine, you have a schedule, and you're providing nothing but lawn service where you go and you mow, you edge, and you blow, and you move to the next one. And you're able to take on add more customers on your schedule and be more profitable. The reason I'm speaking about it is because it's what I did. I would get a lot of tasks, and sometimes I couldn't fulfill all of that because it was going to be time consuming, and I wasn't going to be able to take care of my customers that I had on a schedule. The scheduled customers is where your money is going to come in. It's going to be more profitable for you because you're doing it every week. I mean, you only have like 26 weeks. I mean, sometimes you're lucky if you can work year round, but sometimes if the weather doesn't permit that, it's raining, it's cold, you get an early winter, like in October, the grass goes into a dormant state, then you're not going to have a lot to do. I've been there, done that, and I didn't have a lot to do. And I learned that when the lawn care season begins, and you start around in March, and you got 26 weeks. In 26 weeks, you can earn, this is what I say, earn because you have created a job to work for yourself. You can earn a substantial amount of income within 26 weeks. Trust me, I've been there, I've done it over and over and over. It's a matter of putting things in place. You got to have a system that's going to work for you. I mean, what I'm speaking on as a system, you got to have like advertisement. You can't just go out there and be putting out postcards and flyers and trying to do that. No, you are a company that will mail out that stuff for you, or they can run an ad like I used to run ads in a little newspaper. You find these little newspapers, you put a little small ad in it that you provide a service, and it costs you something. I think I used to pay something like $25 for an ad that would run on a month-to-month basis. And I'd find like these little newspapers that they throw in the driveways. And I would get a lot of calls from that. Also, they had like this other service I used to use, a company that, let me see if I remember. It was, the green sheet, where people would go to like service stations and they pick these little green sheets up because they're looking for some deals. They're looking for something local. And, they may not be tech savvy where they know how to operate the iPhone or, the Galaxy phone, all of these. They don't know how. So they stick to these papers, and they old school. And so they used to a phone book. Now I used to run phone book ads, and I would spend anywhere from like $2,000 to $3,000 a lawn care season. Fortunately, you write all that stuff off. That's a business expense, and it makes you money. You'll make that back in no time. I mean, That wasn't nothing to spend three on a luncher season, $3,000, nothing. I can make that back. I'll tell you, I can make that back in a half of a week. I mean, 3 days I can make that back once you got your business down and you know how to roll with it. So you could grow your business, but you have to put things in place that's going to work for you. You can't do it all yourself. So that's why the money is going, as they say, level up. You're going to level up your skill set. You're going to level up your tasks so that you'll have some jobs to go and do, and your phone will ring. And well, important, you have to answer the phone, or you got to have your phone set up where you have an automated service, or you hire a company that's like a secretary. And what it is, you give them a number, they call, and they fulfill the order. They say, well, okay, we're going to have someone out there for you. You tell them what you want them to say. You tell them you XY lawn service company, and you take the order, and you want to make sure that that they definitely want to get service. So that way you take the order and fulfill that order and lock them in, get all the information that you need. And then you got a whole list ready for the next day. And once you get filled up, then you don't take anymore. Just take enough that's gonna carry you over, that you feel that you can do. Because you're solo. You're a solo guy and you're working by yourself, and you don't want to overdo it. And what I mean overdo it, you don't want to take on more than you can handle. And so you don't want to take on other tasks. You may be able to do all the other tasks, the pressure washing, and tree trimming, and all of that other stuff. And now is not the time. The time now is to get a consistent schedule together so that you can have consistent money coming in. And what I'm talking about on a consistent money is that you have enough customers that you can fulfill a month-to-month base. And I'm talking now, I've gotten it up to like just doing it by myself. I could do 20,000 in a month by myself with good equipment and having a good schedule on a good route. It's just like the trash man. You know, the trash man, you watch what the truck's going to come. If they got a contract, they're going to come twice a week over in this area, and twice a week over in another area. And they do it every week, year round. So you got to be like, you got to have that little route where you have all your customers right in the same area, and you come every week or you do it weekly. And you will, it's funny, but you'll have so much coming in, you're like, wow. Now, you got expense that you got to take out. Now, you got your overhead costs for your gas, your time, your more, because some of this equipment is going to break. And when it breaks, then you want to have money to replace it, like for tires. If a mower goes out, you want to be able to replace the mower and buy a new mower. But I feel with that certain amount of money coming in, you're going to do well. And what it is, every month, you're not going to have breakdowns, so that's going to offset you. But the equipment will break down. You never know. Something can break, a belt, a cable, anything can happen. But you got a certain amount of money that's going to come in. Now, this is your job that you created. And so now you want to have that money saved that you're putting into your job creation. You build it the way you want to build it. And so then when you get a certain amount of customers and you want to grow it a little bit more, then you can hire some guys, if you can find some good people to bring onto your team. And once you bring someone to your team, then you raise the hat to another level where that now you want to do all of your delegations. You tell the guys what you want them to do, and you have them to go out and do it. I mean, providing, or you can have a crew where you have, like, you're the lead, you're over it, you're operating it, but you're still working in it. But then it's going to get to a point where that if you want to really grow, then you want to take yourself out of it because you're doing all of the other scenario for its marketing and scheduling and taking on the new jobs and building what I'm going to say, your business, if you want to build it. Now, some people don't want to build it. They don't want, because, each level is more headaches. I mean, more money, more problems. That's just the way it is. The more problems you have, the more money you can make. And you can get to make a lot of that by taking on more headaches. Because you're going to get people that, I don't know, some of them, they say they want to work and they may not want to work. They may quit. Or they may feel that I can do this myself. Why am I working for him? I should be just doing it myself. Some can do it, some can't. Now I'll tell you from experience, I had some guys working with me and they decided that they wanted to start their own lawn care business. And I told them, completely understand, go for it. And they did. And what happened was these guys was not prepared. The business failed. They couldn't fulfill the tasks that the customers were asking them to fulfill. And they would call me and ask me, could I help them out? I'm like, no, I got my own schedule. That's your problem. You're supposed to have a backup plan. You're supposed to have the equipment ready to go on the job. You're supposed to have the transportation to go and do the job. And then they was running it like the money that they were getting, they wasn't investing it back into the job creation. They were investing it back in just doing whatever, and they don't have the money to buy the gas to run the mower or do the repairs on the mower. And pretty soon they're out of business. So you don't want to be in those time frames. You want to be in business to stay in business for the long haul. And by doing that is growing your job creation. I mean, you can create more jobs for us, take on more services, and help more customers. As I say, you just want to help. People are always looking for help because they don't have the time. They don't have time to come home and mow and edge and trim the hedges. They just don't. They got other things they want to do. And that ain't one of them. It's like they got appointments that they need to go and do. They got doctor's appointments. They got kids they got to go attend to. They have a lot of tasks that they just don't have time to do these other tasks for us working in the yard. That's why they look for a good lawn service provider, whereas a good solo lawn care guy can come and help with those tasks. Because it's fulfilling. It's just too much at times. You try having a family, a wife, a kid, a mom, a dad, a mother-in-law, a sister-in-law, uncle, or auntie, and they want some attention too. So you got to go and visit them and talk with them. But also, you need to take care of your property, and you just don't have time because everybody's pulling at you. And so what are you going to do? You delegate it. You hire a company for someone to come over and take care of those tasks for you. That's one task you scratch off the list. I don't have to mow the lawn. I got a lawn care company. I got a guy, a solo guy. He shows up every week. He takes care of my lawn and everything. I even have a maid service that comes in and cleans the house for me. I have my own guy that comes over and details my automobile for me. Because I just don't have the time. I'm going here, I'm going there. I got a graduation. I got a job to go do. They don't have time. But you're the one that's rescue. You are the rescue. I got somebody's great. they charge this where that it's worth it to me to pay them what they're asking, so I don't have to worry about my lawn looking good. When my company comes over, everything is in looking great. They take care of it. It's great. I feel great because I had to go to an appointment. I had a doctor's appointment. I got an eye exam. I just don't have the time to do all of this task. Mow, do this, do that. No, I'm looking for someone. I would prefer a local guy that's going to take his time. That's where you come in, a solo guy that's going to provide a good lawn care service for this customer. And they don't mind paying that 70 to 80, 85 to $100 a week for you to come over because they're making money. You know, you get some guys, I mean, their salary is like 300,000 or 400,000 to $1 million a year. Because you pull up at these big homes, no joke homes, you know, they're paying some money. I mean, if you pull up and you see Lexus, 2 new BMWs, you know, they're making money. There's a lot of them. They're earning money. It's nothing for them to pay 80 or $100 for you to come up and take care of their property. They don't mind. And of course, sometimes they want to be a little tight, but you got to break it down, the convenience of what you're providing for them. The service that you provide for them is a good service, you know, and they'll appreciate you. And sometimes they will tip you because they just don't have time. No, they don't want to be bothered with no lawnmower. They don't want to be going out there raking in. No. They want to be on the golf course. I would see it all the times, guys. I mowed for over 35 years and traveling throughout different areas, mowing lawns where there's golf courses and all. And those guys, they come out clean with the golf shoes, and they got their little golf carts. They clean. They got their little caddy just driving them around. But as a solo guy, you get to see all of this stuff. Of course, some of them would say, "Hey, you want to play?" Sometimes they would invite me to play golf, but I never took them up on it. And some offered me to go out on their big boat. I would love to go out on this nice big old boat they had, but I never took them up on it. But you can see the benefits of working solo. It alleviates a lot of headaches. Now, when you grow your business to a certain level, and if you want to earn more money, then you take on more clients, and then you hire a crew, and you grow the crew, you get so many crews, and you can make more money. Like I said again, more money, more headaches. And some don't want the headaches. You don't want to be scratching here. Oh, such and such quit on me. Oh, such and such can't come. You got say you're running a 2-man crew and both of them call in that, well, I can't, or something happened. You know, Johnny broke his leg, or the other one, his wife left with her lover. What are you going to do? You're going to have to go and jump in that truck and fulfill that duty, or you're going to have to fill out a way. You got to call that customer, let that customer know what's up. And sometimes, you may have to just go out there and do it. You're the owner, you're the operator, you own this. It's your business. But as a solo guy, they're looking for you, which is harder. Because if you get sick, then you got to call the customer and let them know. Therefore, you have to make a backup plan that if something happens, you got to have somebody that you can call, that you can rely on, that will go and fulfill your duties for you because you're not able to perform the duties at that present time. So you want to be aware of all these situations. Oh, another thing I always mention, working solo, you always want to have your insurance in hand so that because anything can happen. Windows get broken and you want to have that insurance. A lot of times some guys work and they don't have no insurance, and if a rock hits something or hits something on a car, may cost a lot of money to get it fixed, and you can't fix it. So you want to make sure that you have some insurance and document what you're doing and working and all of that, because I've met some people and they didn't have insurance and they're still working to pay for some windows that was broken on a customer's property. It was an accident. The customer was not understanding, but hey, it is what it is. So the guy is still working to this day. He's actually mowing his property for no money until his window is paid off. So I always get you some insurance for his general liability. Errors of omission, you need that because you want to be protected. And you see it all the time. Have you ever looked at any of those court shows where that someone called the company and they were doing some work and things just didn't turn out right, and now they ended up in court for a settlement to repair and fix what was broken on their property? So now you always want to have some insurance because you want to be able to take care of your customer if something happens. Hopefully nothing will happen, but we just never know. Anyways, guys, these are some of the things that I'm just sharing with you in growing your lawn care job, because it's a job. It's not, like I say, it's not a business until it can really take care of itself, where you can step away from it and it still makes money. Then that would be a business. But as it is now, it's like a job creation business that you are the owner and operator, where you go out and fulfill a task for the customer. You have hired yourself to work all of these jobs. Drive the truck, pull the trailer, run the lawnmower, tune the lawnmower, a trimmer, run the trimmer, weed eat the trim, screen the trimmer, sharpen the blades, change the oil. You do all of it as a solo guy. You know, until you get to a certain level, and you may have a company that you can take your mower to, and they'll service it for you and change the oil and change the blades and all of that for you. But that costs money. So as work, and then you have to drive it there and drop it off, and then you have to go back and pick it up. So a lot of tasks you have to fulfill yourself as working as a solo guy. You'll fulfill a many tasks. Been there, done that. I did all of that. I learned a lot. Where, you know, I didn't have to wait for my mowers, because I would put the mower to the side, and when it rained, I would fix the mower. I would tune it up, put the spark plugs, change the filter, change the oil, tune it up. Tasks that you have to fulfill as being a solo owner to grow your job creation. But anyway, guys, I hope I've shared a lot of information with you for as growing your lawn care job creation. But now I must go, because I hope this helps someone. So if you're thinking about doing lawn care and working solo and to grow your solo, I hope I've shared a lot of information. If there's something else you want to know, please feel free. Leave a comment, and I'll see if I can answer the comment in a way that may help you. But anyway, I got to go now, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and hey, I'll be back with some more information here soon. Bye for now. Bye.